Okay, we're going to try this again for the 97th time. Section 6.2, I'm just going to try to do one or two problems to see if I can upload this thing. I cannot use my computer. I have photo booth on my computer, but I can't figure out how to load that to Google Drive. It won't let me. It gives me options of things I've never used. So I'm trying my phone again and seeing how this will work. All right. Multiplying and dividing radical expressions. We're simply going to be trying to calculate this without the aid of a machine. To do so, we're going to break this down into almost prime factorization to start. And you get better at this as you go along. You get really, really fast at it. This is 2 times 2 times 2, 2 to the third. So I'll start out there. And of course, it is a square root. Nothing's there, so it's a square root, which is the denominator of your exponent. And over here, we would have, this is 16 by 2. So I almost have some all 2's involved. This is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 2 to the fourth, 16. So we have 2 to the third, 2 to the fourth, 2 to the first, and all of that is square root. Okay, when we multiply, we add exponents, so that's 2 to the eighth, and it's the square root, of course. Now, to use the meaning of this radical expression, the 8 would be the numerator and the 2 would be your denominator. So I would have 2 to the 8 over 2, which is equal to 2 to the fourth, which, as we explained from 16, that's just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is indeed just 16. All right, let's look at number 12. And I think if I load 2 of them up, I want to see how long it takes to actually upload. But I think I can do. All right, number 12. And like I said, I'll be doing the even problems. And if I can do this effectively and upload a video that's about 40 minutes and it doesn't take me overnight to do it, this will work out great. So we have the third root of 9 and the third root of negative 81. Remember, when this is odd, then the index is odd, you are allowed to have a negative under the radical, because 3 negatives make a negative. So let's break down the prime factorization. That's 3 to the second, and that's third root, negative 9 times 9, which is 3 times 3 and 3 times 3. With, of course, the negative in front. And now you add in the radicals, the rest of the problem. We're just simplifying under the radical here. Okay, I got all 3's. When we multiply, we add exponents. So that's 2 plus 2 plus 2, because it's all the same index. So that's the third root of negative 3 to the 6, which is negative 3 to the 6 over 3. This, of course, is just like negative 1, and you can make negative 1 to the 1, negative 1 to the 3 is 3 over 3, still same thing. We would have negative 3 to the second, which, of course, is just negative 9. Okay, that's number 12. What my plan to do is the even problems, and then I'll upload a picture of the work that I have done already as well with all of these problems. But I figure maybe an explanation with it as it's being done would be a little bit more effective. A sponge works great for a dry erase board, evidently. It's a grout sponge. Just doing some grouting on the floors. All right, 14. The square root of negative 5 times the square root of 5. Now, of course, as this is a square root, we can't have this negative without it being an I, but at least we have the same base. So we have negative 5 to the second square root. This part's I, and then the square root of 5 to the second, which of course is simply I times 5 to the 2 over 2, which is I times 5, which is 5i. 14 would be 5i. I'm looking at my timer. I got a 5 minutes so far on the video. The third root of 9, the third root of negative 24. All right, these clearly are not all going to have the same base. This does have some 3's in it. It also has some 2's in it. So let's break this down. It is 3 to the second, the third root, of course, times the third root of, and we'll make this 8 times 3, 24, negative, of course. So this can be 2 to the third, negative 2 to the third times 3 to the first, 3 to the second, because it's all under the same index. Now, of course, we can add exponents, and we have 3 to the third, we'll put the negative in front, times 2 to the third radical. And again, you can look at this as negative 1 times, and you can raise a 1 to any power. To the third is still negative 1. So you're not changing anything, and this is just going to come out as the negative. So we have negative, we'll call it negative 1, 3 over 3, times 3 to the 3 over 3, times 2 to the 3 over 3 is negative 3 to the first, negative 1, times 3 to the first, times 2 to the first, which is simply negative 6. The answer to negative 16, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the number. Negative 16 is negative 6. Just hours of fun, isn't it? I miss the social interaction. There's the one thing about school that why I went into the business is the social interaction of it. You miss that. I certainly do. It's really, really tough to be by myself. The square root of 50, the square root of 75. Now you could pause your video here and try this yourself. This can be broken up with 5's and 2's. This can be broken up with 5's and 3's. So some things will remain under the radical, but some things will come out. Okay, here we go. This is 25 times 2. Square root. Notice how I wrote 25, 5 to the second. Keeping an eye on the prize of what I'm looking for. Times the square root of 25 times 3. Well, the 5's will add up. That'll be 5 to the fourth times 2 times 3, and all of that is square root. So when we write this in exponent form, we have 5 to the 4 over 2, 2 to the 1 over 2, 3 to the 1 over 2. When the numerator is smaller than the denominator, this will be in radical form when we finally give our final answer. Now, as the numerator is greater than the denominator, we can divide here and simplify. This, of course, just turns out to be 5 to the second. No fractions anymore, a whole number. And this I cannot do, so I'll leave it under the radical. I'll put the 2 back on the outside. 2 times 3, 25 square root of 6. Oh, I forgot to put the number down again. 18, sorry, I'm doing even problems, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I was just going to do like the first section and then let you guys try the odd ones and then the next section just to get a feel on this way of learning. It's certainly not something I'm apt at. I have some glare, I have some things hanging up to block some light. I'm doing my best. And I hope it was effective. I'll leave some time for you guys. I know you have a lot on your plate with family, and I certainly know that some people in your family may have may have gotten sick. I know I'm worried about that myself. My daughter's out working every single day. She's still out there, and I worry about her coming home and bringing something home, and I'm sure you guys have the same concerns. So stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see how long it takes to upload 10 minutes. Thanks.